All right, we're back again with a fantastic episode. This one will actually be a two-part episode because the conversation just was so interesting. We could not find a place to end it. So hopefully you enjoy. Thanks. All right, so we're here tonight with Catie and Caila. Say hello.
Hi guys. Hey.
Oh my lord.
I'm sorry, I can't compose
So,
myself.
me and Catie have been waiting to talk to each other about this show called Welcome to Eden.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think now that you've actually finished it?
Well, Patricia told me to watch it a little bit ago at work, and she said it was like Squid Games.
Right.
So I love like the Squid Game like aspects and everything.
Right.
So I watched it, and it was really slow. So I'm not gonna lie, I did.
In the
skip.
beginning.
Yes.
It takes like 3 episodes to
Yeah.
like get into the main
Yeah.
frame of the show.
Because I watched like the first and the second episode in full, and then I started skipping a little bit, and then I got to like the action.
Well, okay, so comparable to Squid Games, you know how like all of a sudden they were there and then they had to do a lot of backtracking to say why and how they got there?
Yeah.
I feel like this show was reversed.
It was.
Like it went over, like once they were there, you already knew how they got there, what was going on. Some of that stuff they already explained in the beginning, which made it feel slow.
That I think that's why too.
Right.
Because I like how Squid Games was like back to back to back. Like I knew another game was coming.
Right.
But then
right.
this was like interesting because you didn't know what was coming.
Right. It didn't necessarily have like a straight order like Squid Games.
No, exactly.
So you couldn't follow it.
Yeah.
But I loved how like all of a sudden Belinda was just like, I'm gonna be like one of the people that run it. Like I'm okay with killing people.
The Belinda was
The singer,
Like
the one
her
with the
actual
boots.
name's Belinda,
Yes,
but like her
yes.
character's
The
name's
one
like
with the
Africa or
boots.
something.
Yes.
That didn't want to take her boots off.
No, she was annoying.
Yes.
But I did like her in the beginning, and then she turned annoying.
Right.
So
Because she just turned on everybody. She was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna be like possibly just killed, or I could just become one of the main people.
Exactly.
And then I'll be okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
she was okay with that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely selling people out.
Yeah, no.
100.
Uh-huh.
And it was hard at first to realize like exactly who was in control. Like what was their focus? What was their plan?
I had no clue when it first started.
Yes, it took forever. And then when I saw like the little boy in the ship, or like what looks like a little pod thing, I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Okay, we're starting to come together here. The story's a little crazy.
Exactly. I hated that main girl though, the blonde.
Yes.
Oh my god. I hate like that. Oh my gosh, everything's so perfect.
Yeah.
Shut up. Like.
Tell us how you really feel, Katie.
No, like I'm not happy.
And then they were
but,
like,
no,
they had to do like
different.
hard manual labor.
Yes.
She's like, you're gonna love it here, but
And
this is your chores. So
exactly.
And how did they have so many chores in such little pods that they lived in? But they had, I'm talking about changes of clothes were epic in there. They must have had like 3 pairs of clothes for every day.
Exactly.
Nothing repeated itself.
No.
New shoes popping out of everywhere. Where were the closets?
I was gonna say, where are they coming from? All these clothes.
Where were the closets?
They're definitely not
even
paying
know.
attention to that detail.
I was just
No,
like, what's
that's
happening
true.
here? It was ridiculous.
It was a little clothes hanging rack, and then it would switch.
Right.
I don't even know.
It was too much. I was like, okay, what's happening here?
I didn't even think about that.
I don't even see like the showers, and then all of a sudden these girls like updos and like I said, okay, manual labor looks good on you, dude. Maybe you should stay here. I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad.
But,
And so the assassin, the one female, she was hardcore. Like the one that like went around like actually killing people. Like, she was hardcore. Yeah.
She
was like, oh,
yeah.
get me on a secluded island
And
where I can live out my psycho fantasies and like be a serial killer, and you love me for it. I'm in it.
Exactly.
I'm in it. What you want me to do?
Because her boyfriend was back home, wasn't he?
Yes. And she made like that little gun. I said,
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes.
How you got new
sneakers, but you can't buy a gun.
Exactly. It was some like device that went in their head.
Yes.
Like what?
It was like pressurized, so like she would just put it to your head. All of a sudden, it would just go in.
Are you
like
guys
a
trying to convince
lobotomy.
me to watch this show?
It is
or
so
like
crazy.
steer me
No,
away? Because
it is.
It was so
petering
good.
out.
So good. And then when they had it, it almost gave me like Second Coming kind of vibes.
Yes.
When they were doing like the boat and like the different things, and I was like, I don't understand. Are you going sci-fi? Are you going like religious? I know. Is this a cult? I don't understand what's happening.
What it felt like.
Right.
So,
very cult vibe.
Yeah. But I love that stuff.
So
you like
do
cults?
you think do you think the original, like the main two older characters, they were like together, right?
Yeah. Wait, which one? The like main girl.
Right.
What was her name? Eldo?
I think so.
Okay.
And the one guy, like the professor. But I felt like they would have moments where they were like together, but then they had moments where almost like he wanted to be with Belinda, like the singer or something. And I'm like,
that's what was weird.
Yes.
I felt like he was starting to drift away from her.
He was probably like, listen, you look crazy.
No.
I'm gonna get some sexy boots in my life. I've seen her music video. I'm gonna get her dancing over here. You go ahead with your little relaxed capris that you got over here. Get out of here.
I know. It actually was.
It was too much. And then like there was closure, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're on the boat, like you about to get free.
Yeah.
And when she saw her sister, I was like,
that actually was crazy.
God.
I really like that ending.
Yes. Because I was like thinking to myself, you know how like you watch a show, you don't really know if it's gonna, you know, continue on. A lot of things are 1 season, 2 seasons, that's it. Just from the writing styles. So I was like, okay, this seems a little 1 season. Like, okay, they're killing a bunch of people off.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she's gonna escape. That's gonna be like the lesson, right?
Yeah.
Because it is from Brazil, like produced in Brazil. So I was like, you know, maybe it's just 1 season, just made it out or something. And when I saw that, I said,
I know.
Okay.
Because she
All
could have
right,
like
now we ready for season 2.
Exactly.
Because I was like, why else would somebody else come to the island?
No,
You just get a whole bunch of people.
And they're not gonna.
But now she's like, well, I can't not get on the island. Like, come back.
Exactly.
So I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have asked so many people to watch this show, and nobody is committed.
Exactly. Well,
nobody.
Because it starts out so slow. I was gonna quit, but then
I'm so glad you did not.
I know.
It's so good.
It is.
It's like more of a storyline.
It is.
What, than Squid Games?
Yeah. Squid Games is more like you're seeing like a numbers game, like what's going on. Like all these side characters, they're all dying pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you don't really pay attention to a lot of them except for like the main character. In this one, there's a lot of side stories that you're like, oh, okay, what's going on? Boyfriend and girlfriend, 2 girlfriends, and somebody killed them, but you got to kill her. Like, I was like, okay, it's like a soap opera or something. What's happening here? And there was like no kids. Like, I don't understand. All these new clothes, all this hard working, nobody's having sex. I don't get it.
Exactly.
Where's the kids? all of these kids was on there for a long time, and they're like coupled up. Like, what's happening?
I don't know.
Maybe they're taking the kids.
True.
Because there was no babies in there.
No, not at all.
No, just teens and 20-somethings. Party hoppers.
I'm confused.
Kitty box people. Yes, because this wasn't even like just straight poor people that wanted. It wasn't like that same kind of narrative. Like, oh, people are on there because they're like so desperate.
Yeah.
This was people that was like, I want to get turned up. I want to go to a party. Take me to the best party. Let's go. That's all it was. So it could be you on that boat, Caitlin. Let's go. I'm about to get turned up.
Gotta be me.
Me with my boots on. Let's go.
True. But I would fall for
Take your
shit
shoes
like that.
off.
I'd be like,
shoes off.
someone can send me a brochure, a party on a boat. I'd be like, oh, I'll be there.
And then
Yes. But that was funny though at the beginning where they were like, "Okay, we're gonna do the party. Yep, everybody's gonna drink this one thing." Like they were just like leading on the facade.
Exactly.
We're like, we're only gonna pick out like 5, so we can just go ahead and kill the rest of these people real quick.
Oh wait, yes, because the second ship.
Yeah.
I forgot about
like,
that.
We're just gonna take out a bunch of these people.
No,
real quick.
literally. Oh my god.
These people will say, "You guys have been rejected. You're not good enough to kill." It was the worst.
No, it was.
It was so good though.
It was. Kayla, you should watch it.
I don't know.
It's like more.
It's just
drama
not slow.
and
You just
stuff.
said it was slow in the beginning.
Yeah, but it's like 10
2
episodes, right? Kayla, what's happening here? There's like
Episodes
10
is
hours.
a lot of my
It's
time.
slow, and she's like,
Girl.
"Oh, I can't do it."
No.
Okay, Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, exactly. You don't like that. It's a whole party scene.
What are you implying?
Until the party is over. Until the party is no longer fun.
I feel like I just watched. Oh, I did just watch a new show. I
What'd
feel
you
like you would
watch?
love it, and that's just different because we don't really have the same taste in TV shows.
Well, we'll see.
But
What'd
no,
you
but like it was
watch?
really good. It was called Blood and Water.
Oh, I saw the advertisement on that.
So like so good. Like I like can't wait till the 3rd season comes out. It's supposed to come out late 2000. No, maybe early
So
2023.
2 seasons are out right now.
Yeah. So
What is
I
it?
binged that within like a day.
What is it?
What do you mean?
What
like,
is the
what
show
is
about?
it? Do you want me to tell you, or can you just watch it?
I mean, you should say something
Okay,
to actually
fine.
get people to want to watch the
Fine.
show. That's sort of the premise of the podcast, encouraging viewers to see these shows.
You know, it's about things. No, I'm kidding. It's about this girl and her family. They celebrate her sister who was abducted as a baby, and they celebrate her
Right.
birthday every year.
Right. That was in the
So it starts out with the sister's
the
17th
trailer for it.
Yeah, it starts out
Uh-huh.
with the sister's 17th birthday, and she's still missing. Like, their parents have not found her in 17 years. But they still keep celebrating it. But, like, it's kind of to the point where it's affecting her and her younger brother.
They made the one sister like blow the candles out for her sister.
Yes!
That's gone.
No, seriously, like, it was nuts.
I was confused at first in
So-
the trailer. She was like, "Okay, blow it out,
Yeah.
but before you do, thank you for everybody coming." It's
So,
been
like,
17
they...
years. I
Yeah.
was like,
No, it's, like, insane.
what's happening?
So then... and it's based out in South Africa. So, like, at first I was kind of like, okay, I don't know if I'm really good with, like, accents and, like, putting my subtitles on. But I was like, whatever, let me do it. It was
Did you have
so-
subtitles or did you commit to?
I did both. I did both
Okay.
because sometimes it was a little hard to follow, but like it was really good. So after that, the dad is like in a trial for human trafficking his own baby into an
Okay.
adoption agency,
Okay, so does baby. Okay.
basically.
Right.
But he you'll find out in the end that like that wasn't his intention at all. Like it wasn't.
What, he just thought it was an Airbnb baby
I
or
can't
something?
give all these. No, I can't give all these details because it's
You're
like,
like, I thought it was
it's
just
like-
a weekend.
no,
like,
it's like a
they wanted
different.
some photo shoots.
It's like a
Like, I
different
don't
twist
know.
to it all. Like I could tell you, but then I'm
It
like,
is on my list.
then I will
so
be spoiling
it is something that I
No, but
wanna
like it was.
watch.
I literally finished it within a day, both seasons.
A day.
I had nothing to do on that Sunday. Let me just be.
Okay,
honest.
Anthony, take note.
No.
Kayla trying to pick up a show.
No,
She's
Sundays.
bored.
Sundays are the Lord's day,
She's been-
aka it's my day when I'm on the couch.
Mm.
I only have one singular day to be on the couch all
No.
day.
Okay, well, we will definitely check
And
that
Sundays
out.
are for the birds, so if I do
So,
anything,
speaking
I'm drinking for the
of-
Eagles.
Now that we're like in the topic of like shows and stuff from other countries and subtitles and stuff, I am big on watching series and things that come out of like Ukraine, Germany, and they have heavy accents.
No.
Well, here's the thing. So Blood and Water was big on accents, but they were still speaking English with
No,
the
this is-
occasional like dialect of I think I'm trying to think. There was like different dialects of like African languages
Right,
and stuff like that. But like if it was a show where it was like strictly in another language and they're using voiceovers, that kind of irritates me.
But I will say Netflix has done really good
Yeah.
at when they do, because they have a lot of shows like Dark and a lot of even the ones that are based in like the UK.
Yeah.
They'll dub over in English because it's a little bit different. They do really well at lining up, because if I'm watching it and they don't do a good job lining it up, like a lot of like Asian movies, I feel like don't do the best job at that.
Yeah.
Just as like maybe their mouth, like their mannerisms when they're talking isn't viable to line up. I feel like I get so distracted.
No.
It's so hard to like focus in.
Exactly. I'm the same way.
Because I'm like, oh, I know he did. Like I started telling myself a side story. I'm like, look at this boy. He don't even line up on his mouth. What's happening? And then I'm like missing what's happening in the show. I'm like, oh, let me go back a little bit. Wait a minute. What happened? Why you kissing her? What happened? Like wild. But it has to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely watch that.
I know, me too.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
does sound
good.
good.
I actually will.
Yeah, I like couldn't put it down. And then I got my mom into it, so she's watching it again. So I was like, oh, I'll watch it with you, because I was like, I wish I could watch it again from the beginning. That's how good it was.
Oh,
Yeah, I love shows like that.
I'm gonna try it, but now that you hyping it up so much, now I don't know.
2 seasons in one day.
Right, I don't know.
It was so
Like,
good.
could it be that good?
Girl, I
It
don't
was.
know.
I mean, we'll see.
True.
We'll see. We'll check it out. We're gonna be bringing this up in a couple episodes here. Did you guys see the Cassie Anthony podcast?
No,
Or
but I
not
heard it was
documentary?
really
No,
good.
I know.
So, do you remember when that came out?
When her case came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of that. We're gonna be brutally honest. So we were at work the other day.
Yeah.
Here, Dino, he's like always.
Did you not know who she was?
Listen, he always like brings up shows like, oh, did you see
Yeah.
blah blah blah? And I'm like, yeah. And we're like talk about it. And he was like, hey, did you see blah blah blah? And I was like, who you talking about? What? And he's like, Cassie Anthony. I'm like,
Yeah, she was nice.
what you talking about? He's like, what? Then Mary knew. Mary's telling guests like, ask Patricia about Cassie Anthony. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I binged watched
Yeah.
the original documentary
And then
from
the new one that just came out.
2017 and her documentary. So it's
Yeah.
all in here.
I feel like she's just trying to clear her name.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like, and she's not doing a great job at it.
they lay dollar short. What's happening
That
here?
and that's exactly all it is.
Listen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, let's
Like,
be for real.
You did it.
Your baby died.
Exactly.
You knew about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the documentary, she's like, oh, my dad handed me her cold, wet body. So you can't
No.
say that
No.
and then say a couple minutes later, I was still like 2 weeks into when I was in prison. I was still thinking like hopeful that he was gonna reunite me, that he had my daughter. Man, wait a minute.
No.
You can't lie on yourself. Wait a minute. I said pause the tape.
Rewind.
Sitting in the room by myself, had to pause and reflect on myself. I said, this girl just straight up lied in her own documentary.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't edit that out. What happened?
She's like
Fired. Defense team fired.
Literally.
Ridiculous.
No.
Ridiculous.
That is so bad.
Yes. And this is a big point. This is where we're gonna circle around on it.
Yeah.
This is the biggest thing I got from it, is that, you know, you have these cases that get so much hype, right? For a good reason, right?
Yeah.
Because they need attention to them, because they are worthy of it. But then you have prosecutors trying to overfulfill for the public, right? Like, they should not have gone for capital murder,
Yeah.
because it's one thing to know something, it's another thing what you can prove.
Yeah.
So they went too high on all these murder charges, where they still couldn't say exactly where she was killed, how she died.
Yeah.
So you can't prove these things. So you can't prove that type of case. So you can't be mad when she gets off when you shot too high.
Yeah.
I feel like they do that in a lot of like police violence cases too, because they're trying to be the hero for the public and be like, oh, I went for the whole thing. But if you can't prove that and you lose the case, what is it worth?
Wait, so they don't know like anything about?
They
like,
don't
how she
know
was
because her
killed
body was so deteriorated. It was just bones.
Ooh.
They could not prove like exactly what was the actual cause of death and where she actually died.
Jeez.
They couldn't prove any of that.
I didn't know it was that bad.
No. So it's like that people wonder like, oh, how did she get off? That's crazy. Because they didn't make their case.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have went for like the death penalty. They couldn't prove any of that stuff. How would you go for death penalty? It's just ridiculous. They should have gone for neglect. They should have gone for who knows with what else, or like manslaughter.
No, well,
like,
the thing is
like
anyone that does that to some like a kid that's so little, like you don't even deserve the death penalty. You deserve to rot. In my opinion,
well,
you really do.
Again, it's not even what you think they deserve. It's what can you prove.
No,
that's the problem.
Exactly.
So they did a disservice for the little girl because anybody on the jury could obviously see something happened, because it's not normal for a little girl to die and find herself in a bag, like 3 bags and lost in the woods. Obviously something happened.
Yeah.
But if you have all this doubt, people also feel a certain way about just saying like, okay, I'm gonna sentence them to death.
No.
If you don't know all the answers.
Exactly. Like you gotta have some type of evidence.
Yeah.
Or
and they just shot too high. And it reminded me of like all of these cases lately. I feel like they're just instead of going to court for like the case and evidence that they have, they're trying to appease, they don't want to get canceled and not, voted out of office next season or whatever, because they didn't try somebody, instead of going to the public and saying, look, we don't have the evidence for XXX. This is what we're going to do because this is what we can prove. And then we'll build our case from there. Because you never know. Sometimes when you go through the sentencing part and different things like this, you can get more evidence. You can always charge up.
Yeah.
But now that they've charged her for that, and she was found not necessarily innocent, but she was acquitted, they can't charge her for it again without new evidence. So it's like you shot yourself in the foot.
That is true.
Yeah, it's just, it was pathetic.
Yeah. Because when was it? Like 2014 it happened? Like a while ago.
2011?
Jeez,
I
that
think it's
long
when she
ago?
was
But it was still going, in like the case at least.
Yeah.
It's still going. Let me see.
And how old was she? Like 3 when she died?
3, yeah.
Jeez.
No, so the baby died in 2008.
What?
Yeah, but the trial, I think, was 2011.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, so this is the end of part 1. Stay tuned for our part 2. As of right now, there's no update to the top 20 list, even though I highly recommend you go watch Welcome to Eden. Talk to you soon. Bye.